Good, happy Saturday morning. I'm Riley King, and welcome to my morning news report right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. Frustration mounts in wake of natural gas fires explosions in Massachusetts. Frustration is mounting in Massachusetts as residents look for answers after a natural gas disaster that caused more than 60 explosions and fires. Eversource has been put in charge of repair and recovery efforts in 3 communities hit by a series of explosions after the response of the utility company in the area was called inadequate. State and local officials blasted the response of Columbia Gas, saying it has not been communicating with them about the nature or cause of the problem. One person was killed and more than 2 dozen injured Thursday evening after explosions ignited fires in 60 to 80 homes in Lawrence, Andover, and North Andover. Neighbors were evacuated and residents in many areas are wondering when they can return home. Lawrence Mayor Dan Rivera said Friday that the response from Columbia Gas has been inadequate. He said since the utility called for the neighborhoods to be evacuated and for the power to be shut off, it has been largely unresponsive. Those are the last 2 coherent pieces of information we got from Columbia Gas, Rivera said. Everything since then has been obstruction. Governor Charlie Baker declared a state of emergency and said the state has the power in this situation to appoint a manager to oversee recovery efforts. He said Eversource would take over management of the situation. The recovery won't be a quick process, though, and officials urge patience Friday night. Hours earlier, the president of Columbia Gas spoke for the first time since the explosions. He said, "We're sorry and deeply concerned about the inconvenience. This is the sort of thing that a gas company hopes never happens," said Stephen Bryant. Massachusetts 2 senators are calling for a Senate hearing on the incident. Earlier Friday, officials said crews were going house to house in the affected areas to make sure each building was safe. Some buildings were ripped apart in the explosions. Joe of Lawrence examined the damage done to a neighbor's home on Jefferson Street. Leland Rondon, 18 of Lawrence, was killed when a house exploded and the chimney fell onto his car. Friends told the Associated Press that he had just obtained his driver's license that day. An additional 25 people were injured. Most of the injuries were described as minor, but some people had to be hospitalized. Officials blamed overpressurized gas lines, but it's unclear what caused the high pressure. People are not being allowed to go back into their homes until they have been cleared by utility crews, but even then they are being cautioned not to take matters into their own hands. Rivera said most densely populated areas will be cleared first in order to get the most people back into their homes. He said he was proud of how his citizens are dealing with the situation. The National Transportation Safety Board is sending investigators to the area. Shelters have been set up for displaced residents, and officials said they will stay open as long as they're needed. And that did it for my morning news report right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you back here later on today for another news report. Goodbye, everyone.